Hey folks, Judge Mental here, just back from Arse-Freeze-Apalooza. I am here with Judge Kristin and of course, Nick. It was super fun. There were shenanigans, there was fog, there was racing, there were hugs, and there was a flippin' party.
Yay!
Even the corner workers got into it. It was hella sweet.
We had a great staff for this event. Judge Kristin was back, of course. Out of retirement, Woo! Judge Jeff Gates. And we had Dale. Happy birthday, Dale.
Of course, we had our Road Mangler Cup. This time it went to 996, the non-player specials, but it's real simple. If you want to win a free set of Yokohamas, race on a set of Yokohamas.
And then, of course, there was Stephanie from the 277 Wine Rat Trap team, who has patiently waited for over 3, maybe 4 times to win this damn cup. She hasn't quite won yet, but we appreciate your persistence and we know you'll win soon.
May you never tire in your quest for those Yokohamas.
Hella sweet was this driver, Philip McCandless. He's a U.S. Marine. He was stationed in Okinawa, and because of COVID, he's been stuck over there and hasn't seen his family in over 2.5 years, and he came to this race to drive with his brother.
Yeah, and when you haven't seen your family in that long, I think the best place for you to go would be a Lemons race.
Hell sweet, Randy Popes, pro racer and automotive YouTube personality extraordinaire. He was there, stealing seats. But terrible rotaries. Get a muffler. If I wanted to listen to a loud droning noise that reduces my intelligence and gives me a headache, I'd spend the holidays with my family.
Hi-oh! And in a cruel twist of fate, the only RX-7 in the race that had a muffler, these are my buddies, number 101 Magnum Pies. They spent much of the day on Saturday broken with a blown out diff, so we had to listen to the other RX-7s all day.
Lest you think that big American Pistons are superior, this Bonneville, which we love, spent much of the weekend hella dead. And I heard them right next to my RV all night scraping their engine lift across the frickin' cement and hammering and drilling and God knows what. It was but terrible.
But terrible, 722 Saturn. Now, these poor first-time racers, the latter-day drinkers, had brought a truly clapped-out Saturn. And we checked on them during the race, and they were doing that first-time optimism theme of their extreme overheating being the result of something like a bad thermostat or a radiator cap.
It was not.
As some of you might know, I live on a very big ranch, and it is full of really awesome potential race cars. And so after the Saturn team's car blew up, we offered that they could come out and pick one of them and just take it home, you know, something to work on. So they came out and they took a look at all that we had to offer and they said,
"No thanks.
Please?
No thanks.
A little one."
Yeah, no thanks.
Hella sweet, costumes and themes. There were a bunch of teams that were really in the spirit for this one, starting with the Mitsubishi. Now, of course, this is the Mitsubishi Mirage that is covered in fur. It is raced in lemons forever. It has always been covered in fur. The fur has gotten more and more grody over the years. And for this race, for the first time in maybe a decade, they completely stripped and replaced the fur, which it really needed because that original stuff had gotten pretty gamey.
Of course, car 313, the neon challenged neon.
We also had some really good bribes as well, including the Hammer of Justice, complete with rhinestones. Best bribe ever.
And much to our joy, Team Dick-Ass was back. This, of course, is the team that is themed based on a real aftermarket braking company from China. This time they brought us all kinds of little trinkets and prizes to go home with. It was pretty great.
Dick-Ass, Dick-Ass.
And probably the highlight of all of those gifts was the Dick Axe, which of course was an axe. At the race, we used it to prop up the rolling garage door so that Curious George wouldn't get beheaded when he drove through. And then our tech boss, John Pagel, he's got a property in Canada and he took it with him to go chop wood.
We also got a judge's chair.
And some testicles whiskey.
Now, all of this is jumping the gun slightly. If you haven't heard, for 2022, we have a new prize in Lemons. It's the largest cash prize in the entire event, and it goes to the team that has the best themes and costumes. So we're glad that these teams are getting ahead of the curve, but for 2022, if you want to dress up, you have the chance to win $1,000, the biggest cash prize in Lemons.
And if you decide not to theme up, well, we've got a new stencil for that too.
And it's always good to see the Sonda, which is, of course, the center seat, rear engine, Saab 900 turbo-powered Honda N600 microcar. Look for a future Lemons World feature on this car.
It's also always great to see the Kia Pet, which of course is the Kia Spectra, Kia Sophia, Kia Rio with grass all over it. Now, I've diced with the Kia Pet before in a Lemons race, and it's surprisingly quick. I mean, like, legitimately a fast car. Totally not a reflection of me as a driver and my lack of skills, but the fact that that Kia is actually really fast.
Well,
But terrible, Dongier number 425. Now, they've come a long way from beating on their car with a rock in the corner of the parking lot last March. They've got a portable garage and an RV. The car, however, is still slow and now often broken. Hella sweet, 277 Wine Rat Trap. Now, this danged old Camaro rolled into the butt, still with their kangaroo rat theme, and they've upped their presentation at Sonoma with, wait a minute, who wrote this? Seriously? Rat turds? And homemade wine. I mean, it is Sonoma after all.
We have a handful of Pontiac Solstices and Lemons, and some people, when they see them, they say, $500 my ass. And it's true. Everyone that we've seen has won the race easily and totally not crashed and caused lengthy yellow flags while the track crew fixes the wall they broke.
yes, well.
Hella sweet, subcontract in the penalty box. Now, I was a judge at this race, but sometimes you just got to hire that stuff out.
You are not the ballerina. No more pirouettes.
The penalties, both hella sweet and but terrible. We had some classic penalties like the Bart Simpson,
And Bob Ross.
Blue Falcon,
I need you to learn how to drive. It's ridiculous.
that's it?
That's it.
You are way too nice.
the Saran Wrap apology,
I'm sorry. I'm a cab driver. I'm sorry.
Lemon's iRacing commercial.
If you suck at racing like I do, you should check out the Lemons iRacing lead at iSuckAtRacing.com.
But Judge Jeff had brought boxes of vinyl LP records to donate. So we devised a new series of penalties that we called High Fidelity, after the famous movie and TV show, you know, about high-minded quasi-intellectual snobs who compulsively list the best and worst of everything with a commentary on each point.
Anyway, one team had to find all 3 Joni Mitchell records.
another had to alphabetize them,
Then at the potluck, folks started perusing them to keep. They never did make it to the donation.
Want to get rid of your crap? Bring it to a Lemons race.
Ranger Road, they hosted an incredible Saturday night potluck. There was more food and drink than we knew what to do with.
They brought their friends from Naughty Wood Barbecue and their entire trailer.
The spoiler alert even won the ugly Christmas sweater contest.
Yeah, it was really a great party.
Now, NorCal just being Northern California in December, Sunday morning was draped in fog. Now, not a serious issue, but the corner stations couldn't see the track. So we had to wait just over 90 minutes to get the race started. And that could have been but terrible, but Lemons folks are Lemons folks. And it turned into a relaxed social with way fewer lawn chairs, no Corvettes, Corvette magazine, none of those creepy timeout dolls. And we even had one of our British racers do an F1 style grid walk. Martin Brundle would be proud, or fearing for his job.
I'm Simon Thorpe here with 24 Hours of Lemons at Sears Point, and we're going to do a quick grid walk in this foggy day. There's Randy Pops, famous racing driver. Randy, can I please talk to you?
Oh, hi.
So,
Hi.
I'm a big fan of your driving.
Thank you. A lot of people are.
Looking forward to Sears Point this weekend?
Absolutely. I think we got this.
Oh,
covered.
hold
We got a
on.
great car.
I've just seen another celebrity.
We just thought
It's
that-
Megan the Brandon, famous freestyle rapper. Hey, Megan, could you give us some freestyle rapping from
Can't do that. Can't do that.
I can't do that. I just did it.
All right, let's get to some awards. The regional award, Avenue Q was wrong, went to number 916, Hulk Smash. Now, Avenue Q is a Tony Award-winning musical production. Among its notable songs is The Internet is for Porn.
Internet is for porn.
Lucky.
The internet is for porn.
What are you doing?
Why you think the net was born? Porn.
When Hulk Smash totally munched the motor on their 944 on Friday, they became despondent and, after some drinking, whined to the internet that they needed a car.
Yeah, and sure enough, a California local, well, a Southern California local and Lemons racer, he had a BMW E36. It needed some updating, but he says, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'll drive it all the way to Sonoma from like Buttonwillow. He brought it up. They moved some of the safety equipment from the 944 over to the BMW. They got on track. We let the poor guy who had brought the car, we let him race so that he didn't come all the way up there just to lend his car to somebody else. It was hella sweet. Class A went to number 34, Stolen Trailer Racing, in their BMW. Now, this team has been around for a while. They only recently renamed themselves Stolen Trailer Racing because their trailer with their Lemons car in it got stolen. It was missing for several months. It turned back up. They brought it to the track and sure enough, won the race. Now, it wasn't without challenge. They were having this overheating problem towards the end of the race. They didn't think they were going to make it, but then a very late yellow flag, late in the day on Sunday, allowed them to cool off their engine and let it survive and take the checkered flag.
Huh. It's pretty unusual in racing to have a late yellow flag affect the outcome.
Of all the drama, of all the controversy, of all the magic moments,
Lemons Racing.
it comes down to this.
Class B went to number 62, Queen Victoria. This big pig of a car has been around forever, it seems, and finally, after years of trying, we're going to hurl them into Class A, where they stand no chance.
In a world of boxes, one has to suck the least. This weekend, it was number 38, the Kim Jong Elantra. This car was originally purchased as an interior donor for the owner's girlfriend's street Elantra, whose car had been eaten by their dog.
Now, what do you do with a gutted, running Korean mid-tier sedan?
Go racing?
Nope. Cut the roof off, then go racing, then blow the engine, then buy a third Hyundai, take the engine out of the third Hyundai, put it in the other Hyundai, proceed to find every failure point in the world on an otherwise reliable sedan.
Finally finishing a race, this car was 13th overall, even with a best lap 10 seconds off the winners. Stop trying to be fast. Be fun.
The Kim Jong Elantra is actually street legal and also took third at the California Hell on Wheels Lemons Rally. And if you love this kind of insanity but have no interest in putting in Nomex and climbing to a caged race car with 140 other lunatics, check out the Lemons Rally on the 24hoursoflemons.com. It's a way to get into the asylum and not have to be completely crazy.
Do you see anyone here who isn't here?
Nope, just you, Marge, and Yogi Bear.
Kidding! Well, I see your sense of humor's not affected. That's a very bad sign.
I Got Screwed went to number 34, Delinquent Racing, in their Merkur. Now, the Merkur XR4Ti is a brilliant, is a high performance, is an exclusive, is a valuable, is an obscure Euro Ford, and they've been bringing this thing for a long time now. First, they kept getting penalties and then braking. Then they got rid of the penalties and they were just doing the braking.
This was going to be the first time they actually finished, when another team rear-ends them within hours of the checker, breaking their unobtainium steering rack, ending their day.
Now, how was a car rear-ended with little or no visible damage and it broke their steering rack? Hey, remember that part about obscure Euro Ford? Might be a reason it's so obscure.
Heroic Fix went to 818 Initial Dingus. Now, it's not unusual for a new team to win Heroic Fix because they're breaking and they're super excited about fixing. Jaime Garcia of the Race FF podcast gathered a bunch of pretty good folks in a very unexceptional Toyota Corolla, and that car immediately blew its motor. Half of the team hit a junkyard hours away to find the replacement. Sometime in the middle of the night on Saturday, they turned the key and nothing. Frantic series of YouTube searches later, they discover that they left off a spacer wheel near the main crank, which requires removing the entire engine, fixing it, and reinstalling it. 4 a.m., they get the car running. Sunday, they take the green and the checker. Plus, they had Japanese characters on the side of the car that I ran through the translation app on my phone.
Judge's choice went to number 92, the Transmittable Bridesmaids. Sure, they pressed the easy button with a Miata, but this team did not bring it weak. These folks read the directions, sailing through tech with no issues. For BS, they sported matching bridesmaids dresses, and they looked stunning.
This is gonna dominate.
They fit them like a glove. I was jealous. I was very impressed. We never saw them in penalty, but not just because their car broke, but because they were racing clean. Sunday, in the middle of pulling their engine, they cleaned up, put their dresses back on, and came to awards. We're not asking much. Read the directions, embrace the theme.
Organizer's choice. Number 112, Zitronen Commando. Now, trolling in meat space, that's not just a Lemons tradition, it's a mission statement. And this longtime team has it down. This race, they came big. $500 my ass. Why you ruin why you ruin good car? I mean, Jay has one of these.
So does Derek Steinkamp.
I actually had 2 of them.
I don't have one.
Anyway, how do you troll this huge? You take the most hated Porsche 911, the 996, and swap out that water-cooled Boxer 6 with a 1600cc air-cooled motor from a Beetle.
Oh, that's the most awesome thing ever.
This is the best 911 ever. Ever, yeah.
And that brings us to the Index of Effluency, which went to number 74, Ramlin Park Racing. Judge Phil came out of retirement to be a part of this one, and it's a lot.
From an IOE perspective, let's just try to hit the high notes. It's typical Judge Phil, deep dive, high concept theme.
Yeah, in other words, pretty much incomprehensible.
Former California governor and one-time presidential candidate Jerry Brown drove a blue Plymouth Satellite while he was in office.
He dated superstar Linda Ronstadt.
And the song California Uber Alles by legendary 80s punk band Dead Kennedys, it kind of ties in and it explains the whole thing, maybe?
Yes, well!
And then there's a lot of old guys dressed up as the hippie secret police.
Mellow out, or you will pay! 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 Mellow out, or you will pay!
Ain't nobody gets this.
Nope. Okay, so wrap that whole thing in a Corey Dickman-built 70s Plymouth land yacht, and you have the kind of IOE precision that usually doesn't get applied to IOE cars. Corey's just that kind of car builder.
Also, they stayed in costume.
They kept a friggin' 74 Plymouth on track all weekend.
And most of all, they had Judge Phil just being Judge Phil.
So I've got an actual Chrysler 318 cubic inch V8 piston and rod right here. Was in my 1966 Dodge A100 when I got it. And I just want you to study this. So I know you're all asking yourselves, why race a 1974 Plymouth Satellite with a Jerry Brown theme? I don't need to just be the evil puppet master who pulls the strings. Bet you didn't know that. I'm gonna be on the team. I'm even gonna drive. Bumper's a little different, doesn't matter. Nancy grade, if you know what I'm saying. He's watching Dianne Feinstein, who became mayor. Well, we don't need to talk about that. Back to the whole theme idea. So, shall we say, hippie fascism and former Catholic seminary student. Yo, give me a car. The subject of the very famous Vandals song, The Legend of Pat Brown. That was Patrick Edward Brown, who tried to run the cops down, wow, wow. Probably Jerry wasn't really thinking that way, but it didn't matter. Jerry's tooling around in his 74 Satellite. It just about destroyed his sanity. Secret paramilitary organization called the Suede Denim Secret Police. All right, if you want to be truly irie now, I suggest you go listen to this song very closely. I'm kind of falling asleep talking about these cars, but alleged muscle cars. You know what I'm talking about.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
They were also the second slowest car on track in terms of lap times. They still finished in the top 10%. They still finished in the top 25%. They still finished in the top 50%. They still finished in the top 75%.
Hey, with Judge Kristin playing the role of Linda Ronstadt on this team, isn't this kind of a conflict of interest?
I guess sometimes racing just isn't fair.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
And here's Lemons in a nutshell.
So, gentlemen, this is your first time ever at a Lemons race, and you passed tech with no issues. What's your key to success?
Read the damn instructions!
The guy behind the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, it's mental. And why did they call him mental? It's because of the fact that, I have no idea. Wait a second, what the? I don't know. Oh, what's crazy? Oh, no, my God. Mental, don't look at me now. Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
They're sticking the dipstick into the spark plug hole. What's that? They're putting a stick in the wrong hole.
Oh, those stick asses. I'm not mellow enough. I'm too uncool.
She's too uncool for President Brown's world. We're going to go have a talk.
If you suck at racing, like this guy sucks at racing, you should visit ISuckAtRacing.com. I suck at reading as well.
Regulations have tightened with the Lemons in the last few years. And there's Max Verstappen, what's he doing? Max, what are you doing? You do know that... What? You can't... Max, you do realise you can't touch that vehicle.
Who are you supporting in the race? I can do that because I did. Yeah.